Hey there, good morning, afternoon, evening, however you are, wherever you are, I hope you're doing well. My name is Gary Turner, founder of Hexo Change, a transformational change practice where I'm specifically looking to work one-to-one with senior leaders and leaders of the chemical industry, manufacturing, oil, energy, global supply chain, sectors that touch every part of our humanity, but who are ripe for reimagining our connection to ourselves, one another, and to systems at large. If that's of interest to you or someone that you know, please do let me know. But the reason for this live today is I'm super excited that Andy Davies, his new book, Zest, is now available. Indeed, to give you the full title, it is Zest Leadership for a New Generation of Leaders. So it's a really brilliant book. I realize I have my slightly different background on, but I just want to acknowledge Andy and say congratulations for bringing the book into the world. You know, I've tried to write my own book, but gave up on it completely honestly. And I just think it's a really brilliant read, and it's a critical read for our times. And really what I wanted to do today was just put a little bit of a public acknowledgement out for Andy. And also one of the things that touched me and was very surprising to me is that Andy asked me to write the foreword to his new book, Zest, Leadership for a New Generation of Leaders. So this live really is just about that acknowledgement, and also just to share that foreword that I wrote for him in case it inspires you to read the book and to purchase the book. So let me take you through what I wrote, and I still hold every word dear, and it's exactly my feelings about the work that he's bringing into the world. So what I feel about this new book, Zest, from Andy, is for the first time in a long time, if not ever, Zest is a leadership book that openly it opens with an invitation to explore, to actively practice, and to continuously keep pushing the boundaries of one's own capacity, and not with a request to seek out or follow a prescribed set of ideas. Andy brings a no-nonsense, caring, and energetic desire to see the world of work shift gears, and he offers a wonderful platform throughout Zest to help you, the next generation of leader, achieve that by learning from the present and the past, but also inviting the reader to imagine for themselves, key point, what good looks like in their context, and bravely seeking to set themselves up for future success. Please note the personalization that Andy offers in this book, and the space to allow people to think for themselves as themselves, not just to take on the next hero guru's version of what good looks like. Although it's great to learn from them, this is a deeply personal book. A refreshing, insightful, and modern read, Zest is part strategy, part HR, part personal development, and part organizational design, but all with a very intentional focus on setting up the next generation of leaders for adaptable, holistic, commercially astute, human-centric, and business success. Andy does a wonderful job throughout Zest of modeling the future bravery as he weaves powerful stories and data across a mix of practical case studies, personal interviews, and third-party examples of less well-known modern-day corporate heroes to bring his messaging to life for the next generation of leader. Peppered with practical, real-life examples of leadership, what works well, what is too often missing, and some blatantly poor examples, and indeed shocking examples of what to avoid, Andy offers a positively inviting, playful, to the point, and exploratory approach to 21st century leadership and beyond in his new book, Zest. As an active corporate practitioner myself, I find Andy's 12 forward-looking competencies and his blueprint for future leaders not only compelling, but absolutely critical as we get used to navigating rapid change as business as usual. Andy does such a good job of weaving the critical hard competencies such as strategic thinking, networking, and commercial awareness together with the necessary ascension and addition in critically important so-called soft skills, which I prefer to call humanistic skills or competencies, such as bravery, adaptability, and empathy. To offer a framework by design that blends the whole human for personal, team, organizational, and indeed societal gain, Andy's provocatively and bravely signposting a new, reimagined way to review competency, and one that is grounded in our whole humanity, not just in financial metrics. And as we all know, they are an outcome of getting the people stuff right. Andy keeps the exploration throughout Zest super practical by offering a range of reflective and discovery questions as you make your way through the text. My invitation is to take the time to really digest, internalize, and answer fully and honestly for yourself each question, as I personally found real practical value in doing so as a curious, seasoned leader. Gary Turner, curious explorer and founder of Hexo Change. You can find out more about me on my website, hexochangenow.com. Now, I've done this for me as much as I did for Andy and for you, because there are very few texts out there right now from someone that's in the corporate space right now, like I am, offering an invitation to connect head and heart in a way that we have not done really to date. And just as a final spoiler alert, I want to make you aware of these 12 competencies that Andy speaks to. I was a little bit better prepared before, but let me see if I can try and find them again. So here they are. I'm not going to go into big detail because this is Andy's work, and you can join Andy, who's joining me on the right here, right now, live show next Monday, the 28th. So if you join me at midday, 12 o'clock UK, 7 a.m. Eastern, 1 o'clock CET, the 12 competencies that Andy is speaking to is, and this is critical, it's leading self, leading others, and leading the business. And it's really interesting how this overlays with the work I'm doing as part of Hexo Change, which is linked to the connection to self, connection to others, and connection to systems at large. There's a lot of alignment between Andy and I here, but he's the 3 clusters and the 12 the 12 competencies that he's looking at are leading the business, commercial awareness, networking, strategic thinking and collaboration, leading others, adaptability, resilience, bravery, and trust, and then leading yourself, developing people, empowerment, communication, and empathy. Now, it's so critically important here. All 12 of those for me are very much led from the inside out. Yes, there are external factors we have to consider, but if we are not doing the inner work, if we are not connecting to ourselves, one another, and systems at large, we would not be able to do this work effectively. I love what Andy's done here. It is so critical, and I think it's even more inspiring when you think of Andy's background. Started in the military, he's one of the finalists for the ex-forces last year. He's working in an IT, SaaS and tech business today, leading that through product design. And he's here today with this incredibly felt, embodied version of what Andy wants to see as a change in the world. That's disrupting yourself right there. And I appreciate you, Andy, for doing that. I appreciate you for inviting me to write the foreword for your book. And I'm really looking forward to you joining me next week on Monday, the 28th of March at midday UK, for us to explore what's driving you to show up so fully, what's driving you to bring this book into the world, and an open invitation to anyone out there to join us on LinkedIn, YouTube, or on my Twitter. You can find the details in the comments and the blurb below for this particular live. We need everybody on deck. We need everybody coming from this place of connection from the inside. It's got empowerment. I really look at this as empowerment, bravery, trust. You could add a whole list of other competencies to this in terms of generative listening and more. But I just love where Andy is. I love what he's signposting for these new generation of leaders. And indeed, us as established leaders need this in our lives far more than I think we have in the corporate space today. So congratulations, Andy. Look forward to seeing you next week. And again, everybody, you can find a link to Andy's book on Amazon in the show notes of this conversation. Have a great week, everyone. Please show up fully. We need you on deck, challenging yourself, others, and systems, and connection all the way. Cheers now.